This morning I was speaking to our initiate group in Singapore, and I read a few passages from the text known as the Guru Gita. All those who are dedicated to surrendering the ego to the Divine Guru often read through Guru Gita. Some recite the entire text every day. Swamiji, our Gurudev, I remember now sitting here, we used to have the blessing. We had that blessing for 10 years in a row from 1980 to 1990. Every Guru Poornima he would speak to us over the phone. And this time we have typed out all those messages and put them in a little booklet form. But it's not the same voice. The words are the same. And he has repeatedly said the word Guru is divided into the two sounds, Gu and Ru. In the Guru Gita, from verses 44 to 47, these two parts of the word are explained. Gukaraschandakaro hi Rukarasteja uchyate Ajnanakrasakam Brahma Gurureva na sanshaya. The word Gu means darkness. The word Ru means brilliance, light, effulgence. That which takes the darkness and assimilates it into the light and vanquishes the darkness, that Brahman is Guru. Let there be no doubt about it. Then I recall reading one of the great yogis of the first half of this century, Raman Maharshi, in the eyes of the disciples suffering from terminal cancer, and all the disciples and the doctors working hard to save his body. He said, "What are you people doing? I'm already suffering from the big disease called the body that has accrued to my free spirit, and I have now this small little disease to get rid of the larger disease, and you want to deprive me of the antidote to the big disease. Why do you want to do that?" So the verse in the Guru Gita says, Gu is the disease called the worldly existence, and Ru means the antidote to that illness, and Guru is that which wards off and gives therapy for that disease called the worldly existence. Then verse 46 says, the word Gu is short for Sanskrit Gunatita. Gunatita means that which is beyond the three gunas of Prakriti, that which is beyond the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, that which is beyond all trinities, all dualities and all trinities. From this Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, all the forms are created in the universe. The word Ru, he says, is the initial for Rupatita, beyond form, beyond gunas, and therefore beyond forms. He who leads us to realize that reality which is beyond the gunas beyond the principles of sattva, rajas and tamas, and therefore beyond form, that is known as Guru. And the verse 47 says, Gu is the first sound, the primordial sound from which the divine creates the universe, from which all the maya, all this illusory magic in the universe appears. And Ru is that supreme Brahman who finally again liberates us from that very maya. This is the meaning of the word Guru according to the Guru Gita. Swamiji or Gurudev has written number of little texts, and the last book before leaving his body he had his disciples compile was this sacred journey. In the first part of 96. And at that time we did not realize that he was writing of his own forthcoming sacred journey. In it he has two themes. One is that what you call death is illusory, that there is no such thing as death. Elsewhere in the path of fire and light, he says those who are amara, have realized the principle of immortality, they rejoice, they enjoy dropping their bodies. Not suffer. So he's explained how is it possible, why is it that we who are living a life in which we tremble at the thought of death and say, don't mention that. And to the yogi of his stature, it's a moment of happiness, a moment of celebration. But then the question arises, what about us? The Guru will leave and what will happen to us? Who will guide us? And he has answered that question in this book, in Sacred Journey. You read it over and over. Last year when I was traveling through the country here, I made a point of giving seminars based on this book. He says, no human being can ever become a guru. Guru is not a human experience, or better said, Guru is not a sensory experience. It is a divine experience to be a guru. A human being allows herself or himself to be used. A human being allows herself or himself to be used as a channel for receiving and transmitting by the power of powers. Then it happens. The Guru manifests. To do that, the human being must learn to be selfless, must learn to love. Real love expects nothing. My master said, a Swami is one who has no personal emotional needs. When I said that to the interviewer 2 weeks ago, who was here from Minneapolis Tribune, she was shocked. She couldn't believe that that's possible. But that is possible. Okay. Real love expects nothing. That is how genuine gurus live. Selfless love is the basis of their enlightenment. Selfless love. I asked him, Swamiji, how would I know who is a worthy disciple, a worthy student, to whom I should pay attention? He says only two things. He says, one, have they conquered lethargy? There is one person here in the meditation center who has conquered lethargy. His name is Pandita. Works whole day, works all night, and doesn't yawn. Someone like him gets all the attention. And the second test is, he said, selflessness. If you are selfless, you are a disciple. If you are not selfless, you are just a student. If you are selfless, you are a disciple. And if you are not selfless, you are just a student. Then, you see, people have this preconceived notion about gurus, even about little teachers. Someone way back many years ago wrote me, "You have failed all my tests as a father figure." Well, I never claimed to be anybody's father figure. A guru is not a father figure, a guru is not a priest figure, a guru is not a counselor, a guru is not a free therapist. Now that I have a guru, I can save a lot of money. Many years ago, I think 2 decades back, St. Paul Pioneer Press or St. Paul Dispatch, one of them, did a series of articles, and the title of that series was An Expert's Expert. So they went to the cardiac surgeons and said, now if you have a cardiac problem, the top cardiac surgeon of the city, they interviewed and said, well, if you have a cardiac problem, to whom do you go? And they went to Horst and said, well, where do you go to get yourself beautified? And they came to me. You are known for counseling so many people and guiding so many people. Where do you go for guidance and counseling? I said, I go to my guru. Who is he? So I told them. Say, and how much time does he spend counseling you? I said, at least 1 minute every year. But the fee for that 1 minute is pretty high. Sometimes the students think the guru should behave in a certain way. When these expectations and preconceived images are not met, the student becomes upset and may even leave the guru. This is not the proper way to approach a teacher. Well, you can read. You can read these writings, the chapter titled Divine Grace in the book titled Sacred Journey. He says on page 84, and I want you to hear this with great care, those who aspire to be promoted from student to disciple. The relationship with the Guru is based on the purest form of unconditional love. There is complete openness with the Guru. The disciple should hold nothing back. This is why in the tradition a student goes to the Guru and offers a bundle of sticks to burn. It says, in this chopping and burning, the Guru is merciless. The Guru's job is not to hold hands with the disciple and wipe away tears, but to cut into pieces the disciple's ego and all that stands between the disciple and his freedom. The Guru does not allow dependence. If the disciple becomes too dependent on the Guru pushes the disciple away, insisting on his independence. It is a remarkable expression of the deepest love. And I tell you, I did go through quite a bit of that chopping and burning. And you know what he would do? He would pay attention to the fellow disciples. He would come right here to the meditation center and pay me no attention. Okay. And those who I thought knew much less than me and did much less for the Guru, surround himself with them, and I am asking for an appointment. Yes, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, yes, tomorrow night, day after. And it went on, and he went away, and no appointment. And it would make me jealous. Now I am a secret sinner. I didn't let anybody know I was jealous. But I was so jealous, I was burning with jealousy against those disciples who were getting all the attention and I wasn't getting any. No. And the more jealous I would get, the more he would ignore me and won't say anything. No. In that process, he taught me how to handle the disciples also. No. And then when I would reach inside me, I would reach a point where neither getting attention would exhilarate me, nor getting no attention would depress me or make me jealous. Then he would call. No words passed. That was the process of counseling. No. And one of my favorite stories of this burning and being led to independence, he told me that he would have to work without me sometime. And I want you to prepare for that. I did not know what he meant. And he prepared me. And he said, don't look at my body as myself. One day, I was in Homestay at the institute, staying 3 or 4 doors away from him, and I had this sudden great urge to go and sit near my Guru. I'd always managed to control that urge because his order was, unless I call, you don't come. Well, this day I decided to take courage, hold my heart in my hand and walk to his door. The door was, the knob was loose, not locked. Quietly opened it, went in. He was sitting there with his helpers, students, sitting, talking. I went in, paid respects, looked at me. Yes. I said, Swamiji, today I just want to sit near you. He says, out. I sat down. He got up, opened the door, turned the knob and pointed out, like that. Now those who have seen him, they know when he was turned what that meant. I quietly got up and I walked out with heavy steps and a heavier heart. God, my Guru, can't even go and sit near him for a few minutes. That's all I wanted. Came to my room, sat down on this sofa chair. As soon as I sat down, I did not know myself. The body consciousness was lost. It was about earlier than 9 p.m. When my eyes opened, it was after midnight. more than 3 hours of absolute ecstatic bliss in which the body did not exist. You want to sit near me? This is the way. This is not a body-to-body relationship. Forget the body. Connect your mind to mine. You are sitting near me. Otherwise, get out. Now, this is very difficult to learn. And one learns this only by utter grace. And people do not know what that grace is. And there was one thing in him, or is, he never wanted to be worshipped. Now this thing you have done today, I am going to get a beating. Because he never allowed anyone to come. He did allow me, but he said nobody else, to come and do this form of worship arti. And that is why he forbade his picture being put in this hall. Used to be here, none. There are none here. We have it upstairs. And when he left his body, he said very strictly, he left the instructions, says, no memorials. Normally, in Indian traditions, the body of a saint is considered a holy relic. So it is not cremated. Everybody else is cremated, but a renunciate, a Swami is not cremated, a Swami is buried, and people build a little memorial on it or something. But he chose to be cremated. Because if he had allowed his body to be buried, next thing there will be a little monument. Next thing, as some of you know who have been to India, there will be devotees coming, and once a year there will be a crowd of 500,000 people making worship offerings and giving incense and lighting deepaks and offering flowers. And you know what that does? Then the liberated soul is bound down to that, because he has to come and take care of all those people. And he is taking care in his own way, and he doesn't want to be tied down. He chose to be cremated. So that is called selflessness. He gave a large sum of money to the university in Garhwal, which is mountain region near where we live, where 2 or 3 decades ago there was not even a college, and then the area was opened up, developed, and university established. So he gave a large sum of money for the library, for the university, to open the library, on the condition that his name will not be mentioned anywhere. The Guru is a guide. And here I want you to again and again, as we do not have him in the physical presence, I want you to remember what he has said here, that Guru is not a human being. It is a universal force. It is a cosmic mystery. The concept of Guru is a cosmic mystery. If you want to understand the meaning of the word Guru, read the epistles of St. Paul. And wherever the word Jesus occurs, read the word Guru, and he's talking of his Guru. And you will understand what it is we mean when we speak of the Guru. Okay? This particular festival is called Guru Poornima, the full moon of the Guru. It's a series of festivals in the traditions in the East. The Buddha Poornima, the Guru Poornima, next month the Rishi Poornima, dedicated to all the saints and sages. There are at least three dates in the month which in the Indian traditions are regarded as very sacred. There are others. When we speak on Sri Vidya, we speak of the 16 in lunar phases, but commonly in these traditions three: Ama, Pratipada and Poornima. Ama, the new moon, no moon, the night of the no moon, Amavasya. Pratipada, the first moon, and Poornima, the full moon. Yesterday I accidentally opened one of the Upanishad texts on a page that explained these three. This is a particular Upanishad not commonly known. Some yogis recite it daily. Mandala Brahmana Upanishad. It says, Ama, the no moon, is that total darkness that some yogis aspire for. Now don't mistake the word darkness here. The word darkness here is used in the sense in which St. John of the Cross sings of the dark night in his Spanish lyrics. Absolute stillness of senses. If you read his own commentary on the first verse, on the dark night of the soul, in English the dark night has become an idea of pessimism. That's not what he means. It is when the outside world is abandoned, the senses are closed. In the eyes of others, the yogi is sitting, shutting out the world, when he cannot see the exterior world at all. But what is inside him is that absolute stillness, the kind of night on which a Buddha migrates, a would-be Buddha migrates from his palace. The kind of night on which St. John aspires to walk away from it all, that darkness. In the mystic traditions, that is the night of the no moon, the Ama. Pratipada, the first moon, is that time when the light has just begun to shine. Now in the Sri Vidya tradition, in the solar science tradition in which we are, the whole chakra system, the tier of centers of consciousness is divided into three worlds: the Agni Mandala, the Surya Mandala, and the Chandra Mandala. The realm of fire, the realm of the sun, and the realm of the moon. When they speak of the light of 10,000 suns, that is a lesser experience. The experience that was given to Arjuna by Krishna was of the Surya Mandala, not of the Chandra Mandala. He was not taken to the highest. He was given the solar experience, the light of 10,000 suns. Beyond that, the light of realization, about which we use the word enlightenment, is like 10,000 moons in the Sahasrara, in the 1,000-petal lotus. It's a very cool light. And when the yogis like our Gurudev leave their body, they are one and the same with that kind of light. And when they appear to the disciples, it is that kind of light that seems to emanate from them, or that seems to be their physical body. Now that light becomes their body. So the Poornima, the full moon, is that state of consciousness in which the exterior world is not shut out anymore. The interior world has been fully illuminated, and the exterior world now is also seen in the light of that internal illumination. To move from the world inwards, that is the initial stage. The higher stage, the stage of the Supreme Guru, is that in which the light, the universe, is seen in the illumination of that inner light. And therefore its reality is looked at very differently from the way you and I look at its solid reality. And that state is called Poornima, the full moon. Celebrating it on the night of the external full moon, that is just symbolic. We aspire for that state. Why? Do you know why? So that being in that state, we may liberate all those who are suffering in bondage. That is the only reason for seeking enlightenment. And one who has reached the light, not just the light, but has taken upon himself to be the vehicle, the medium, the instrument of that Guru force, that is the Guru. And to that Guru we pay homage. Those who are listening to it in the distance in other cities, or those who are here, let this be a moment for a resolve. Whether or not full enlightenment comes in this life, just do one thing, and you will miss the presence of the Guru less. Just one thing. Be there at the hour of grace. Set the time for your meditation and be there. I have told you many times, back in 1972 when we used to hold 73 I think, used to hold these retreats outside in the farms, and we had this camping retreat going on, and Swamiji was staying in one tent, and someone came running. There was a fellow named Dr. Arya around in those days, and so someone came running, Dr. Arya, Swamiji wants you. So I went running, entered his tent, bowed, sit down. I sat down. Says, your enlightenment is my business. Don't interfere with my business. I bowed my head. Said, get out. Got up. I got up and got out. And that promise remains. When the Guru comes looking for you, you are not there. When the grace comes to confer itself upon you, you are absent. Don't be absent. On the other hand, this thought that we all have that our physical Gurudev has left, when he left his body, I wrote a few pieces here and there. One of them goes something like this. Khalil Gibran writes, once upon a time, beauty and ugliness went to bathe in the sea. The ugliness came out first from the ocean, put on the clothes of beauty and went into the marketplace. Beauty came out later, having bathed, saw her clothing gone, had no alternative but to put on the clothes of ugliness and went into the marketplace. And since then, people mistake beauty to be ugliness and ugliness to be beauty. I've continued on that, exactly copying, echoing. Presence and absence went to bathe in the sea. The absence came out, put on the clothes of presence and went into the marketplace. When the presence came out, it had to wear the clothes of absence, went into the marketplace, and since then people mistake absence to be presence and presence to be absence. And that is the truth of the apparent absence of the physical Guru. You can tune in to your Guru whenever you want. There comes a time in the progress of a disciple when the Guru is never far away. Whenever there is a question, the disciple knows where to find the Guru, or the Guru knows that the disciple has a question, comes and gives his answers and gives the guidance. And it is in that guidance that his mission continues. Selflessly help that mission, and in your life, the more selfless you will be, the more grace you will experience. God bless you. Hare Om.